Hello, my name is Biju. I'm a proud middle school principal in Tempe, Arizona. Prior to moving to school administration, I was a middle school math teacher for 4 years. 2 of those years, I was lucky enough to serve as a mentor teacher for 2 different student teachers from Arizona State University. Also, over my 4 years in the classroom, I was also lucky enough to be a host classroom for student interns who were looking to receive hours for their college courses. In my last year in the classroom, I was awarded the Treasure Hunter of the Year award within my district, which means I was voted as the educator in our district that most believed all students were capable of success, no exceptions, in alignment with the Kids at Hope philosophy. Following my 4 years of teaching, I became a teacher on special assignment at a middle school. Following my 1 year as a TOSA, I became the assistant principal at that school for 2 years. I was then asked to move to another middle school at that time as the assistant principal also. At that time, that school was a failing school. After 1 year as assistant principal at that school, I was promoted to being principal at that school. I've served as principal at that school for 2 years, and now I'm in my 3rd year at that particular middle school. We began as an F school. We are now as a C school, so we're looking to continue that upward trajectory as time goes on. That's a little bit about my experience in the education world thus far. It is invigorating to hear about the work that Edifying Teachers has begun. That power of connection, I firmly believe, can work miracles. And as Edifying Teachers states, it can dehumanize education. I also thought it was incredibly powerful that Edifying Teachers is not simply stating that the goal is to retain teachers of color, it is to see them be successful and flourish. That is something that I am passionate about as well. And the 6 C's also deeply resonated with me and is deeply aligned to my values and beliefs. By working together as a collective whole is truly how we can positively impact our communities that we work in addition to compassion, connection, coaching, and collaboration. Those are 4 more words that deeply exemplify the work that I work to do each and every day. My why stems back to my parents. Both of them grew up in humble villages in the country of India. Through education, they were able to move to the United States and provide opportunities for myself and my brothers. It is critical in my philosophy that all students are capable of high levels of learning and success. There's no exceptions to that. It is critical us as the adults provide those opportunities for them. Education is the way we can open doors for students and families. What brought me to this work? My very first principal still is he began as a mentor for me, still is to this day, and he's also a good friend of mine to this day. That friendship has blossomed and grown. He supported me as an educator of color. I want to ensure I am doing that as well to another educator of color because I'm a firm believer that representation does matter. Our kids have to see educators that look like them within their classrooms and in their schools. I believe I can guide a fellow educator of color to be successful on their journey. My approach to mentoring, coaching, and also the way I lead my building is through building relationships. In my experience, that relationship component has to come before anything else. Part of our work in growing educators is to provide that constructive feedback. what I've seen in my experience is that feedback is much more well received if there is a relationship already in place. That mentee or teacher you are coaching has to know that you want the best for them and you have their best interest at heart. And that begins with the relationship component. So my approach to mentoring and coaching is relationships first. The most important principle for me when it comes to mentoring, coaching, or teaching, so whether you're a mentor, whether you're a coach working with adults, or you're a teacher working with students, relationships are the most important principle. The old saying goes, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. I truly do believe that. As we're working to grow educators and also grow our students, that coaching and providing feedback that are critical components of our work, and that relationship piece has to come first. They have to know how much you care about them, and then we can get into the pedagogy and really working on practice. It's really important for me to mention that I believe all adults are also capable of high levels of success, not just students. People in general have to know that we believe in them. It goes along with the Pygmalion theory. In short, people will either live up to your expectations or live down to your expectations. People have to know we believe in them. Otherwise, we are not going to see them reach their full potential. All adults and all students are capable of high levels of success. I also believe mentee learning needs to be, first of all, based on reinforcing their skills and abilities that they're bringing to the table. Every single person we work with and interact with is bringing something to the table. It's critical we, as leaders, highlight those things, celebrate those things. And then moving into those more constructive pieces, it's very important as we're working with educators that we're not giving them the whole kit and caboodle to work on at one time. So I believe in providing one action step, maybe two, that a mentee is working on within a time frame. That action step needs to be bite-sized, meaning it needs to be something that that mentee can work on and improve on within the course of a week. It needs to be the highest leverage impact strategy that is going to most positively impact their classroom, and then also needs to be measurable. So that is my personal philosophy, really reinforcing what's going well, providing that one, maybe two action step, maybe two. And then once that mentee has met that action step, celebrate them, because it takes hard work to truly improve your pedagogy in the classroom as a teacher. Celebrate them, and then continue that continuous improvement with that next action step. So as far as mentee learning, that's the way I view it. And again, it's really important not to give them a whole bunch of different strategies to work on at one time. In my experience, that does stifle growth and limits consistent focus and clear direction for your mentee. My approach to mentoring, coaching, and teaching are reflected in my values in two ways. Firstly, I believe a relationship must be built first and foremost, and it must be a partnership based in trust, and that is developed through the relationship. Secondly, I believe that all adults and all students are capable of high levels of success, and it is imperative that my actions and my words exemplify that. Each and every time I'm working with my mentee, I believe in them and show them that. So those are the two ways my approach to mentoring, coaching, and teaching is reflected in my values. Improving my mentee's self-efficacy is critical, and it starts out by pointing out their successes. What are they already doing well? Building them up. Every single one of us is bringing those talents and skills to the table. celebrate those things. And secondly, as we're working on those different action steps and moving the needle on our pedagogy, celebrate those things as well. It's important to be intentional and transparent in celebrating those victories, because we're now looking at something that might not have been going so well in pedagogy, and now we've moved into being successful in that area of pedagogy. That is building self-efficacy and allowing that teacher to see growth and how they're improving as an educator. Overall, building my mentee up and allowing themselves to see greatness in themselves will allow self-efficacy to develop further over time. Relationship building is a strength of mine. So when we talk about building that sense of belonging and community, my skill set lends itself to that. I make it a point to get to know my mentee as a person from the moment I meet them, not moving straight into the pedagogy aspects. This is what you need to work on. No, we get to know each other as people. And then through that, a relationship begins to be built, trust begins to be built, and it doesn't happen at that first meeting. Relationships and trust are something that are things that are built over time. So me being consistent, following through, and showing that that support over time will be critical to this. But I believe with my skill set in relationship building to start, and then moving into my skill as in pedagogy, my mentee will definitely feel a sense of belonging, a sense of support, and feel a part of community. I'm passionate about educators of color being successful in education. I am thrilled to hear and see the work that Edifying Teachers has begun. I can't wait to join the movement. Thank you so much.